Finally, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today. It's Ruben from The5ers on the trading room. As usual on Monday, happy to be with you. We'll be discussing about the trading market, what happened last week, and what we expect for the next days and weeks. And guys, yeah, let me know in the chat if first of all, how are you? If you're feeling okay today. And secondly, let me know if you have any questions regarding the market, and I would be happy to answer any of your questions, guys. Hi Hadarsh, hi Kuyongen Guyen, hi Evan. Happy to see you guys here. Let's wait a few more minutes before we start. Maybe some other people are actually joining the live. Tomorrow I think there is holiday, national holidays tomorrow in US, which is the 4th of July. So market today might be a little bit lazy to trade, or not a lot of volatility. It's only one day before we move to vacation. Maybe Wednesday it's going to be interesting to check if there are any news coming in, but I don't think today we're going to see a big volatility, as tomorrow the market is going to be closed in US. But again, what we do on Monday generally is checking high time frame, try to identify the big let's say the big trend and major key zones that we need to have in our watch list. Your voice is echoing. Yeah, thank you for the feedback, guys. I think it should be okay right now. I probably was a robot for a few minutes. I believe it's okay right now. Yeah, we see a lot of people coming in the chat. Hi everyone. Hi guys. Hi Mati, hi Singh, hi Debo. Perfect. This not yet. Okay, this should be good now. This should be good. Tell me if you are still listening any echo, but I think this is fine right now. This should be okay. Hi Yanis, love the new overlay. Yeah, thank you. You know, we have someone very good here at the 5ers. His name is Gil. It's not the CEO, but it's someone else. Actually making wonderful videos and nice content. And he's actually shaping the room behind me. So nice light, nice environment. It's good for you. It's good for me. I'm feeling well behind, so so yeah, thank you Gil. I don't know if he's on the chat or not, but again, thank you. That sounds better. Okay. Congrats Yanis for the new payouts. For someone that don't know who is the conscious day trader, his name is Yanis, one of our high traders, let's say very good traders at the 5ers, trading bootcamp accounts, scaling the accounts step after step. I invite you guys to follow these guys. Now some trader and using very good techniques. So yeah, happy to see you here, Yanis. Okay, let's move a little bit into the markets. We don't want to waste any time. Anyway, this was nice, this was okay, we don't care. Just want to check if there is no echo also here. I think this is okay. Yeah, this might be okay here. Okay, let's look Euro USD. This is the first chart, which not a lot of movement here. Looking at the daily chart, we identify the wave going ups and down in Euro USD. The first wave here, second wave here, creating an inflection point. This is quite the same analysis that I had last week. So we had here, you see a lot of accumulation, and then the price bumped. Here it was the same, and today we are still at let's say the average price. So again, personally, I won't position myself if I'm not into any position. I won't position myself into a swing position for the long term. I would prefer to buy if the market goes down to the lower to the lower zone, or making a sell if the market goes up into 1.10, 1.11, something here. Actually on the day one, and I believe H4, let's say day one, I believe it's fair enough. Also on the weekly, I don't want to position myself. What is interesting here is that the market is starting to create a head and shoulders. You know, we had the first shoulder here, we have the second one creating last week, and we have the head. The neckline is not horizontal, but it's still neckline, and yeah, the market can come back down. It depends what you're looking for, what you can say about the euro currency. If you believe the euro will continue to be strong, or the USD will become a little bit stronger for the following weeks. Depends what you think about the macro environment in order to position yourself right now. Again, technically speaking, I won't position myself here, as we are exactly in the middle. Of course, if we go into lower time frame and we look at the 30 minutes H1, there are always opportunities. We can start seeing on H1 lower high. You see, guys, we had a higher point, and the market successfully is getting down. Again, here we have an interesting point to go. We have multiple supply for the market to get respected. Here we had a first supply that respect, second one here after the small retest, and here right now the market is a little bit going down. So of course on lower time frame we have always let's say indicators to make a trade. It's important that on Monday I want to focus on the longer time frame to understand if we can find any opportunity which can actually last for a few days. Here on the Euro USD you can always find a spot in H1, H4, H1, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and even scalping for M1. This is basically for the next following days. Tomorrow the market will not move. As I repeat, there is national holidays tomorrow. So again, interesting. You know, can be a good scalp here for selling a little bit the market, as the trend is a downtrend in a small time frame. Of course, we have quite a strong demand at the bottom here. Yeah, interesting chart, guys. That sounds better. Yeah, the sound is better now, I think. Okay, let's read some questions. What is the IM of this live chart? Okay, what's the objective of the live? We are getting a lot of new people on the trading room, and I very appreciate. So let's clarify a little bit what are those trading room. Those trading room are public for everyone. It can be for the fiber traders, but it can be for traders, let's say prop traders. And the focus on Monday generally is to have let's say a fundamentals discussion about what's going on in the market right now, what's happened last week, what will be happening in the next week, and of course if we can find any technical zone that we need to have in our watch list for the following week. Okay, generally most of the traders do that on Sunday because the market is closed, so it's a good moment to sit back a little bit, take a refresh, and just analyze the chart. At the 5ers we do it on Monday, with also generally the volatility is a little bit lower than any other day when you have, I don't know, CPI news, NFP news, and so on. So it's good to identify the chart together. Some people are also asking questions on the chat, so guys, I invite you to ask any questions you may have on the chat. And of course, any analysis you might have, any symbol or asset you want to discuss about, feel free to ask. So we start with the Euro USD, which it's one of the best per traded, and I found it very interesting last week as we went down below 1 and then the market continued to goes up. So I found the Euro USD interesting. The Euro USD is not interesting for that week. Okay, Euro USD is not interesting for that week. Again, it's my own opinion. I won't position myself in a swing trade in the Euro USD. Hey, bros. Okay, let's move into the pound as we have some question for the pound. In the pound, we had an interesting movement few weeks ago when the market broke a new high. Then the market get down and come back to the average. We can see I use Bollinger Bands to analyze the volatility. Here the market was, let's say, above the average, very far from the average. You can say the mean as well. 20 standard deviation, the market break it very brutally, and then we come back slowly to the mean. Which is coordinated with the highest point that we had in May 2023. So basically, it's also a pattern that a lot of traders used to trade. It's a breakout. We test. We are here a nice pattern candlestick, so traders can actually have an opportunity on the spot to go in. The fact is that we have here, I believe we have quite a divergence in between the high, between the low time frame and the high time frame. I think this will be very interesting for people that like to trade breakout. We have here a downtrend line. Which quite very easy to see on H4. We see the downtrend coming in. We didn't succeed to make an higher high only here, but this was probably during the news, so this might be like a little noise here. But as long as we're gonna break a new high here, this will give some indication. This will give some indication for traders to buy. For traders that are new and coming into this this live, I'm not a trader that like breakout. I would generally go against the trend. When I see like 2%, 3% drop in a day, and I see an important zone with a high volatility, I generally will make the opposite direction. So I don't believe in trend. I believe in reaction and in let's say retracement most of the time. So when I see a strong uptrend like this, I will generally be looking for a sale according to my analysis, according to the indicators I have in the market. So here again, I repeat on the pound, we just break a new high last week. We come back to the zone, and we are retesting this zone. The fact is that on H1 we have a downtrend, so we just need to be careful a little bit. As long as we will break on the upside this zone, this can be an indication for some traders to continue on the trend. Again, quite very easy to see uptrend on the daily chart. Breaking high and high. The only thing I see basically which will be like this zone. This is like also a big psychological key zone. 1.25, 1.26 is a psychological key zone in the pound. We are here reaction during the COVID mid of 2020. We had a breakout, make a retest, especially at that point. Also here we made a breakout below that zone. You see the small retest here. We had also a retest, you see just here. Yeah, not so far, like just here. So on the weekly time frame, this is a zone where it can have a big interest for people to position. So this is what I think. Again, I will be looking for continuity of the trend, big uptrend, come back to the top of this zone. We had a first retest here. Maybe the market will go down again to make a double bottom and then flying up. So this is what I think for the pound. It will continue to probably go up. Do you trade live on this chart? On Monday, generally I'm not trading live, as I'm more focusing myself on analysis the chart together and answer some questions on the chat. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we are trading live the market. Generally, it will be Saul. It will be also me trading the market. We will not be focusing on trading high time frame like daily or weekly because it's like, it will be like only holding the trade and we'll not be able to see you some day trade. So we are generally making some scalp and day trades on Tuesday on the same channel. Basically, not on Monday, as I said. We are focusing on making large time frame analysis and discussing about opportunities and reviewing the chart in general. For example, this was an interesting point for the day. 30 minutes time frame. Interesting point that we had last week. Market make a high breakout. It's a very, very interesting breakout. Market coming back down, and here we had accumulation and so breakout retest. I think this type of pattern are reacting very well when you are close to like a holiday. I repeat, tomorrow guys, it's holidays, the market will not be moving a lot, so generally markets tends to respect some of the zone that created a few weeks ago. Okay, before we move to like Aussie CAD and other minor pairs, I want to review again the major pairs and check if we can have interesting spot as well. What's happening in the dollar CAD? Yeah, the dollar CAD is I think also a nice spot for the day, not for the day but for the next weeks in general. I think we identify his together probably the past week, but we have an interesting demand point here on the weekly chart on the dollar CAD. Market drop into the demand, maybe not enough, but again this was a little bit difficult to find the buy here, so I would still wait a little bit. You see we have a big demand here, fresh demand that the market did not touch yet. So again, the market did not drop here. Okay, I think this might be this might be my watch list for the week. Okay, interesting uptrend on the weekly chart from March 2021. So all the time the market successfully making an higher low. Here we had let's say a very big movement on the upside. We get back to the mean, market make a range, we drop below. Okay, so what is important here, we had a very strong support for 8 months maybe. We break this zone 2 weeks ago, and today we are starting to make a retest. You see, this is the H4, a lot of accumulation into this zone. This can be like the continuation on the downside. Like I said, breakout, retest, and then we go back down. So I hope the market can continue on that zone. I will myself not making a sell here as I'm more focusing on touching the demand. Okay, I want the market to drop lower, attracting this demand, and also we like coordinating with the uptrend line that we see on the dollar CAD. I will have here hold the indication to go long on the, let's say, on a swing trade, and be able to hold it for a few weeks. So I need to be a little bit more patient here before I make any execution. But basically here, this is what we see: a breakout below the strong support. We test. I hope I can see a lower movement touching directly the demand, and waiting for a retracement. This is what I have in my watch list for the week. I think this is quite interesting here, what we have. Pound yen, not major pairs, but we will talk about the pound yen. This is the monthly chart, guys. So you see the big movement. This is like 2008, this is 2011, 2016, 2020. So this is quite a big extreme zone in the pound yen. And we are coming close and closer to the higher extreme zone. This is quite also one of the best opportunity we can have for the next weeks. What I know is that the Bank of Japan informed that if we continue against the yen, and the yen will like lose more value, they will intervene in the market. So basically, when a bank intervene in the market, it's bring a lot of volatility, and it's bring a lot of sellers actually. So this is the type of chart I like to see. As I said just before, when I see a strong uptrend and bullish movement like this, my mindset tell me, yeah, I can only sell here. I can only sell, and of course, you need to sell as long as the market gives you some space. The maximum amount I will be able to hold here would be above that point. There are still, like, I believe maybe 800 pips in the pound yen is not a lot. Sorry. Okay. So this will be the zone I would be able to execute some of the trade. I want to be on a sell position already starting from here, because I believe if you go to the weekly chart, we are already at the top of Bollinger Bands. Stochastics is above 80, probably overbuy here. We are most of the time on overbuy when you see that the stochastics, probably RSI as well, above 80, touching the roof here, starting to be flat. Again, it's very, you need to be very ballsy to open a sell position when the market is like this, bullish. This is also the type of position that make you very successful. Of course, here the lot size should be very accurate. You should not be like going full margin and full volume on that stage. You need to let the price moving and giving the price some space to go. You see there is like no confirmation on the downside yet. We will have a confirmation when the market will probably enter this zone and will start to make some accumulation ups and down, and then the market will go back to the mean, which the mean here on the pound yen is at the middle. Okay, so probably the target for me will be the pink line here, which is for me the average price, the correct price for the pound yen in a like 15 years time frame. 155. This is what we can expect. This is the same for the Euro USD. Most of the time, the Euro USD was trading around 1.10, which is like the psychological average for the Euro USD. When it was 1.25, for example, so the mindset is telling you, yeah, 1.25 is a little bit a lot. I can expect the market to go to 1 to 10, which is probably the correct price. For oil, for example, the correct price, psychologically speaking, is around $60 per barrel, which actually we are around 60, we are probably around $70 today. So of course, when the market goes down into $20, $30 per barrel, you expect the market to go back to the mean. This is quite of an example here in the pound yen, okay? And I believe this is also one of a good opportunity that we can have in the next 1 or 2 years. So guys, be ready for a lot of movement here. Okay, let's move on to some commodities. Gold, which I believe is interesting as well. In the past weeks, we see gold dropping down from 1,980 to 1,910. Thank you guys for the feedback on the chat. I appreciate it. I'm reading some of the comments, and I hope I will be able to check actually the pairs that you want to discuss about. We have Aussie CAD, we have Euro CAD here. Thank Russell, thank Traders Community Support for the message. Yeah, basically, I don't know what to expect in gold. You know, generally, I don't know if you are familiar with the risk on and risk off environment. But when we see, let me put the S&P chart. Okay, when we have a bullish movement in the risky assets, so we can say that the stock market is a risky asset, so the risk is on. Basically, gold, which is a safe asset, will tend to go down. Okay, generally this is what historically speaking and generally we are talking about. So yeah, Russell, actually we are in a risk on environment, but again, I don't think we can that the I can say that the environment is like 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Today it's not so clear. We don't know if we are if the market is uncertain, if we need to buy risky assets, if we need to hedge on gold. This is quite it is another period which I believe anything can make you wrong. We have cryptocurrency on the side as well. So in any case, I believe that the inflation is starting to go down, which we see that already for few weeks and few months already in US. Gold is not dropping hard. You see, we are still we are very close of the highest point here. If we were in a risk-on environment, historically speaking, we can see like, say the gold will like drop very, very drastically. Gold is still holding. We are very close from the, you know, there was technically speaking here a large trading zone. Then we break out 2% below, and today the market is starting to recover. So, you know, it's very difficult to say, we are in a risk on, so I can buy risky assets and I can sell safe assets like the dollar and like gold. So talking about day trading, I will only rely actually on technical analysis. If you look for long term, I will buy everything. Okay, I will buy gold, I will buy cryptocurrency, I will buy risky assets. As I believe we are in a shifting environment, and we're going to see gold, risky assets, cryptocurrency, and also the dollar, which is generally known as a safe asset, popping up altogether, which is generally not the case historically speaking. So yeah, again on gold, the only thing I see it's managing trades technically, like we see here. Okay, we had the lowest part of the extreme zone. We break out, we make a retest, the market drop down. Here we are starting to make a retest, so might be some sellers coming in here to push the price a little bit back down. I don't see anything else to do on gold specifically. We don't have any big demand zone to interact. The next big demand is at 1,800, which of course here is a safe buy in my case for the long term, but actually we are in a no man's land, so I won't position myself into a long-term perspective. And you see it's very difficult daily to imagine anything. You see how much noise there is in the price actually coming in. So yeah, what I'm expecting is here we had a large buy starting to make first trading zone, second trading zone. We are actually getting down, so we're going to see probably a third trading zone. I hope we can find any bigger movement to go down on this big demand, and then we can interact for a buy. So this is for gold. Let me know, guys, if you have any idea about gold, what you can expect in the next weeks, fundamentally but also technically. I think it's very interesting. Again, in my case, I'm like you. I don't have any big ideas about what can happen here. Let's move to US indices. We have made an higher high in the S&P last week. From a few points, you see here, like I said today, like some of you guys also informed on the chat, tomorrow is the 1st of July. We won't see a lot of movement today. The market just opened a few minutes ago, and it's actually just holding the support of the pre-market. We will check if actually this will hold for the day. I think it's going to be interesting. But again, I'm not expecting a big movement. So basically, we can expect like a 0.5% up, 5% down for this type of day. Traders don't want to be, on a floating position when you have holidays. You don't know what happens, and then the market open Wednesday. So that's why we are not gonna see a big movement here on the S&P and on the US indices in general today. Again, fundamentally speaking, and what we have seen last weeks in US indices, it's like a very bright future. We are talking, again, I repeat, if some of you guys were not here past weeks, but we are talking about AI, increased efficiency of companies. We have statement reports of high companies generating new income, new profit. So this is pushing up the market. Also in the Nasdaq, technological stocks are also a lot affected by AI and machine learning, or all those new technologies pushing the price up. We just forget what happens in the last months. No inflation. We don't care about the interest rate. Companies are in a good way of developing, and we are not so far from the highest point in the S&P and also in US indices. We are not so far. Again, I thought like we could actually sell a little bit the market when we were at that point, which probably was a mistake for me. I think the fundamental is actually driving the market up. And we can see the market continuing driving up to the highest spot, which I believe here. I believe we're gonna see some sellers here around 4,750 on the S&P. But of course, if we see 1 year, 2 year, 3 years from now, historically speaking, US indices are making new high. Already, I don't know if you see, but the Nikkei and also European indices are already at the top. They were doing actually maybe, yeah, I have the DAX here, which also is relevant for US European stocks, but we are already at the top in the DAX. Okay, market went down. This was during the COVID. This was the rally after the COVID, and we are almost at the top. We are not so far from breaking this zone, and I believe that if the US markets will continue to drive the market up, we're going to see records in Europe in the stock market. So yeah, again, technically speaking, the S&P, very difficult to make any sell. Maybe only on a, if you are very skilled, you can try to find some spot and make some sell, like we had last week here. But again, at some point the market will continue to push you out, and will continue to make new highs. So again, the best spot to go is try to position yourself in the long position. The fact here is the market is flying so high, and it's really difficult to find any spot to make a good buy. For me here, I cannot make a buy again, as we are at the top of Bollinger Bands. The mean is here. Stochastics is also above, not so far from the 80 level. So the main spot for me would be to open some buy when the market goes back to the mean, which we were actually last week here on a daily chart. If the market continues to goes up, I will not be able to buy, as I'm not a breakout trader, and I don't want to be the last one to buy the market. But I think we had enough indication that the market will break a new high. So yeah, we had all those inflection points here. You see a lot of accumulation, successfully making an higher low, and then here, touching a lot of time this zone, and then the market continues. So this is especially explaining what we see in the world, actually talking about AI, artificial intelligence. So yeah, very bright future for the economy in general. Talking about cryptocurrency, I believe the same. We have good news, and then a bad news, and then a good news, and the market don't know where it goes. But on the long term, we still believe that innovation, digital, all the digital innovation that we have in the world will make a higher impact, and I believe that cryptocurrency is one of them. Of course, don't go like bet all into one small coin. Generally, it's not working. You need to know how to diversify your portfolio in general. Even if you're a day trader, you can actually have multiple positions in the same day. Okay, and you can have one position in indices, one position in commodity. Last week we talked about specific specific strategy when you can actually trade on the spread between two assets. Okay, we actually identified that the Dow Jones was already at the top. I don't remember, but basically the strategy was to sell the Dow Jones and buy the S&P, because we find the divergence. Generally, when the Dow Jones is moving up, you also see the S&P moving up. But basically, we just are trading the spread, which was a nice analysis last week. It is only a part of the strategy that you need to do on a day trading. Euro yen, is that interesting? I use the dollar index to measure risk. Yeah, I think this is also interesting to check at the dollar index. Basically, more recently, I'm looking for crypto to identify if we're in a risk-on or risk-off environment. This can be, a little bit weird, but I think I'm quite satisfied with what I checked already in crypto. You can also like find the VIX, which also can give you the sentiment in the market. If you know also options, you can already find out the implied volatility. You can look at the implied volatility and try to find any patterns. But yeah, DXY can be a nice measure, and crypto in the last weeks was for me a nice indication as well. H4 daily. Yeah, this is quite the same of the pound yen here on the euro yen. The top here is one of a maybe decade. It's one of a decade opportunity. The spot that we have here was in 2007, 2008, and we are like flying. What is nice in this type of chart is that the market is not going slowly into that zone. Is that the market is flying with at least no retracement. We have some retracement here and here, but because the time is very small from the time we just push the market, it's like when it's like a bubble. More the market going fast into a strong supply, and more the market will revert. So of course here it's the monthly chart. You need to be very patient. You need to allocate properly your lot size, not going full and gambling in one direction. There are still some space to go on the upside, but I believe this is one of the main spot and main opportunity in a decade. Okay, you will not see like a drop of 1,000, 2,000 pips in one direction every day. But I believe here on the yen, we are not so far. The Bank of Japan also said that they might intervene and they might stop actually that the yen is actually decreasing in value. So yeah, I believe we have a quite nice spot to go in the yen. I think we're good for today. There are some pair that I didn't look, maybe Euro CAD and Aussie CAD, but the mindset is the same. Find a big movement into one zone and expecting for retrace. Here this is quite nice here on the daily chart in the Euro CAD. The fact is that we touch many times this zone. What's happening in the weekly? Actually, this already give you guys some profit here. If you like open a buy around that zone. You had 1 point here, a second point around last week. Again, when I see this type of movement, when the market touch 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time a zone, generally it breaks. So you need to find those opportunities before the market touch more than 3 times. So I believe that here, this was a nice spot already to go. Some people already, I don't know, maybe take profit already, remove the stop loss to break even, depends when they enter. So yeah, the less they touch this type of demand and supply, the more is better for your strategy and your trades. All right, guys. I'm happy to see a new people joining the session. I very appreciate seeing regular ones. I know that a lot of people keep coming every Monday, so I appreciate. And of course, guys, the one that are new, you are welcome to find and stay with us doing those trading room. It's generally an open discussion. I don't like to talk alone during 1 hour. I like to discuss. I like to share our different vision. I'm a trader like you. Sometimes I can be wrong, sometimes I can be right and opposite. So it's always an open discussion that we may have together. So I appreciate the time you stay with me today, and I hope I can see you next week. So yeah, I wish you a nice week. For people from US, nice holidays, nice vacation. I repeat, tomorrow there is no markets in US. And again, I wish you a nice week, guys. Take care of you, and goodbye.